The very latest in breaking news and developing stories, as well as have some very interesting discussions. Today we shall be focusing on breastfeeding. This is Breastfeeding Awareness Week. It's drawing to a close, and we shall be aiming at informing you on how this is beneficial to mothers everywhere, the challenges mothers are facing, and perhaps some of the solutions to ensuring that children get enough breastfeeding so they start off at an advantage. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we're starting off with a bit of breaking news. Now, the Gikomba market is on fire. Yet again, the inferno, which broke out at around 1 a.m., has taken down businesses and residential houses in the popular market. Now, traders who are now counting losses, which are running into the millions of shillings, are saying that the fire incidents have now become an all too familiar occurrence, and that the recommendations they gave to the government a year ago have not been implemented. Let's now join KTN's Fred Kagonye, who is on the ground. Good morning, Fred Kagonye. Now, bring us up to speed. What is happening where you are?
Good morning, Trix, and like you rightly put it, there's another fire in Gikomba market in an area called Gorofani. We've been told that the inferno started on my far left at the back. You can see it's still raging on, and what we know so far is that the inferno began at around 1 a.m. And for the traders whom we've spoken to, they are saying that what they have lost is running into millions and millions of shillings. And the area where we are at in Gorofani, it's a place that houses many people who deal with bales. So basically, they import clothes from Asia, from Europe, from the US, and then the traders who sell the wares in other areas, for example, in Mutindwa and other markets, they come to get their goods from here. So basically, this is more like a store of where the traders in Gikomba store their wares. And what we know is that the inferno started at 1 a.m., like I've said, and they are not sure what could have been the cause of the inferno, but they are saying that the government took too long, and the relevant authorities rather took too long to respond. And they say if they responded swiftly, the losses which they have incurred could have been mitigated. But they say that last year at a time like this, there was another inferno in just few meters from where I'm standing. And what they've said is that at the time they gave some recommendations to the government of the things that they wanted to do so that they can try and mitigate these fires, which have become an occurrence that is all too familiar now. And some of the recommendations, one of them was that there should be a fire engine that is situated near Gikomba, and they say a year on it has not been implemented, and they say if it was implemented, then that would have helped them salvage some of their goods. But as it stands, they've lost a lot of money. Back to you, Trix.
Right. Fred, could you speak to us about the infrastructure of that area? Could that have impeded the swift reaction of the authorities who are mandated in handling such disasters?
Most definitely. The infrastructure of this area is it's very crowded. And what we know is that when the fire engines first came here, they didn't have water. So they are saying when the fire broke out at 1 a.m., the fire engine that was first to respond didn't have water. So the fire raged on as the fire engine went to get water. But looking at the area, if you've been to Gikomba, you know the way this area holds so many stalls. And with the number of stalls that are in this area, especially here where we are at, it's called Gorofani, the number of traders are so many, and the stalls are close to one another. So if a fire engine, even if a fire engine came at that time and it had water, accessing this area would have been hard for them. So they've had to bring down some structure so that they can access the areas where the inferno is at.
Okay, thank you very much, Fred Kagonye. We shall be looking to you for updates, and hopefully the authorities can do better in handling these frequent disasters in Gikomba market. Now, let's move on to another story that is making headlines. President Uhuru Kenyatta has nominated 4 commissioners to fill the vacant positions